So what's going on out there? Is it still cray-cray? The market? So low inventory still. I just bought a house here. It was April of last year. Actually, Narit showed me a house in North Bethesda, but we had just kind of like, I was waiting to hear on this house. So we got the house in Gem Chase, but it's a horrible time to be looking.
Yeah, we bought a house over the summer.
Where?
Uh-huh. But imagine trying to go for that in the summertime.
Yeah.
In the market. We ended up getting it from a realtor off market who really lucked out.
Oh, nice.
The situation. And they lucked out too. Because he did a decent amount of money.
Yeah.
But I'm so glad that we did it because we would, the equity that I have in that house now.
Yeah.
For the last like 8 months is 3 to 6.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Very good. Oh.
We do it real life right now, so. We do real life.
Is this thing gonna follow me? If I move around, is it gonna follow me? Like, I don't like the way I film on camera. Like, I've already got enough weight on me. I don't need the camera putting on anymore. Okay, so should we get started? Hi, everyone. Thank you for coming. My name is Jennifer Irving, and we're going to talk about social media. Now, we know that 97% of all real estate transactions started online last year, and we've got 85% of people Googling us. So needless to say, it's a more important time than ever to have that strong online presence. So I know I'm in a very, I can tell, high-tech crew here. So why aren't we doing this? These are the top 5 reasons why I'm hearing from agents. We know we need to be doing it, but we're all fighting that clock. Everybody is, but especially you guys as agents. I used to think I wanted to be an agent until I started working with you, and I see what your jobs are really like. You're out there, you're meeting new clients, you're showing homes. To think you come home after a long day and now it's time to update all these social media platforms, it can be, a little overwhelming. With that, you might not stay consistent, and we need to be careful, be mindful of consistency, because that's your message. And if people are spoiled with choice these days. So if I can't find you out there, how can I possibly use you? And if you're not being consistent, like I met an agent a few years ago, she said she was a blogger. Well, I went to her blog page. She hadn't blogged in like months. Now I know, as your average Joe, if I came across this blog, I would think you're not in the business anymore, or you're not serious about your business. Either way, swiping left onto the next. Like I said, there's a half a dozen right behind you. In reality, she's a top producing agent, not far from here. Definitely somebody I'd like to work with, but that's not what her online presence was telling me. So consistency can give a message. And then, of course, content. I know we all struggle with like putting pen to paper, or with, fingers to keyboard, what to put out there, what are our clients interested in, and then the overall knowledge of all the different platforms. I know they keep adding new platforms. I didn't even know TikTok existed before this pandemic, and then my kids are watching like endless hours of it. So I still don't really, frankly, understand it. Okay, so these are, I'm sure you've seen all of these logos. These are kind of like I say, like the big dogs. Facebook, over 70% of Facebook users are logging in 6 to 10 times a day. And on average, they are staying there close to a half an hour. So do the math. That is a lot of opportunity to get in front of somebody. I've seen such crafty things done with Facebook advertising. I had a carpet cleaner a few years ago. He said, it was the first time this happened to me. Now I've seen this happen like a ton of times, but I was so intrigued because he's like, if you go like my Facebook page, he's going to give me 10% off my bill. So I had to do it right in front of him. It was like, have to do it right in front of him. I was like, okay. So sure enough, I get my 10%, but now I'm seeing before and after wine spills, doggy accidents, promos he was running. Nothing overwhelming, but enough to stay in front of me. It's called top of mind marketing. You want to stay in front of these. Like I just said, I had a kid that graduated. I've been at the channel for 17 years. I've recommended this guy dozens of times. I don't have to pick up the phone, click, put him in touch with a friend. Off he goes. Probably cost him $25 to get all those referrals. Like I said, it's just like top of mind marketing. And typically 80% of users will connect with about 2 to 3 businesses. Once we like you, we really don't go out there and unlike you. So great opportunities there. And Facebook, I was just reading, we kind of know this, but this is the greatest demographic of people in the buying and selling stages of their lives. I know I'm very partial. My kids make fun of me because they think I'm like a dinosaur. But hey, I was just sharing with my friend here. I just bought a house a little more than a year ago, right in Chevy Chase. So you want to hit each demographic. Twitter, YouTube, you can see these numbers here. These have huge millennial followings, and those millennials made up 37% of real estate transactions last year. So we want to meet these clients where they are, and these are two very good platforms. LinkedIn, over 500 million users. I love LinkedIn. This is a business network. This is like your online resume. But the number one reason why I love it is because it has the highest SEO value for your name. Do you know what SEO stands for? Yes, I'm sure you've all heard of it. SEO stands for search engine optimization. What is it? It's Google Juice. That's what we need to be found out in the internet. So how do I build it? Being on multiple, who knew my shoes were going to make this funk noise? So distracting. So being on multiple platforms, putting out fresh, changing content, that's what's going to build your SEO. It's also important to be on these multiple platforms because, like I said earlier, they're each serving a different demographic. Like those millennials love their YouTube and their Twitter. But like I said, I just hit the big 5-0 last year. I'm very partial to Facebook. This is hitting my demographic. Think of it like fish hooks in the water. The more fish hooks we have out there, the better chances of catching a fish. So we're going to tackle each one of these, just starting kind of high level. I like to think about it a little bit like a three-legged stool, or like that perfect recipe with 3 ingredients. Number 1 is blogging. Blogging is like the foundation. This is the content that we're going to be writing and then sharing it out to number 2, which is the social media platforms. And then number 3, housing it all within your website. The website is like the front door to your business. I feel like, the real estate mecca of learning. So we'll talk about all 3 of them. Now, for those of us not familiar with the blog, it is an online newsletter. The beauty is it's fresh, it's changing content, it's out there in the internet, it's connected to your name. This is like, SEO perfection. Now, it's also great because it's designed to make you look like the expert in your field. So if I start blogging about finance this afternoon, of which I know nothing about, all of a sudden I appear to be this finance expert. If my neighbor starts blogging about real, let's say fashion, she's a fashion expert. So obviously for all of you, we want to start blogging about real estate. Now, real estate at the core, because I know not everybody is looking to buy or sell a home. We want to stay interesting to other people out there that are not in buying and staging stage. So I know, spread it out a little bit. I know I tapped into many more recipes in the last couple of years, maybe a do-it-yourself project. Certainly, we should be blogging about our listings. Now, think about if you have a listing and you, let's say, put a for sale sign in front of my neighbor's house. I adore each one of you, but I don't know your name, but I am for sure going to know that address. And that's how we have to think about how people do business today. We're picking up the phones. Last night we were just trying to figure out how tall Ashton Kutcher is. All my kids, they pick up the phone. We just Google everything. So people Google that address nowadays. So assuming what we're going to do with these blogs is every week, we say to be active and consistent. Once a week is fair. If you can do more, great. But once a week is fair. We're going to take these blogs and we're going to share them out to the multiple platforms. Same one, it's okay. It's a little bit of a game, like if you just want to have that, build that SEO. And like I said, they're all hitting different demographics, maybe a little overlap. So assuming you're taking this listing, you're sharing it out to all those big dogs that I was saying, that's going to be a lot of Google energy, your name connected to that address. And that's what we want. I'll tell you, I was so frustrated. Every time I'd be put in touch with them, or I think it was the listing agent. It's not. It's just some smart marketer that's getting their name on top of your listing. We want your content to come to the top. And then, of course, local information is always great. I used to have a friend that she blogged about the local high school, and she got a lot. It translated to business for her because people saw her as the local expert. She knew the schools, she knows the neighborhoods. I've got to be careful now, like rambling off names, because you probably know a lot of these people. But local information. So if there's like a 5K, like what isn't Wildwood doing their sidewalk sale, I think this weekend, things like that. Keep yourself, establish yourself as a local expert. I lived right down the street here for like 27 years in Bethesda. When I was looking for a house, that's all I was looking for. I'm like, Bethesda, it's like the hub here. I live now in Chevy Chase, where I passed for all these years. I knew nothing about this neighborhood, but Molly, my agent, lives right down the street. So she was able, I'm a modern family, got 7 kids. I was looking for a dormitory. I have my own 4, his 3, coming together. We needed a big place. And she was able to tip me off, like, this is a great, it's got the pool, it's got a lot of, like, all kinds of little activities, like they've got everything. And what's the new thing that all you guys, you agents, it's really kind of cool, I think, these shredding things that everybody's doing. So we have tapped into, I think these are such crafty little things that people come up with. There's another one this week, and I'll think of it. It's not a shredding, it's something else that we were like, we definitely have to do this. Probably like a dumping or something. Anyways, so local information, of course, testimonials are never going anywhere. Now, blogs can be in one of 2 places. They can be out on a platform by themselves, like WordPress, blogger.com. Bright has a platform. It's great, it's fresh, it's changing content, everything I was saying. But the real ideal place for it to be is embedded in your website, because now it's like firecracker juice. Because one, when somebody's reading it, where are they? They're on your website. And then you get that lead capture. Number 2, you're also changing then the look of your website every week. So let me break that down. Like if your website, I used to do this via webinar, these seminars, and I would do these polls, and I could see that I would do this poll about like websites and how often people were changing them. I know sometimes we think we check a box, we have a website. Well, if your website looks the same today as it did yesterday, as it did 5 years ago, Google thinks it's dead and it's buried way down low at the bottom of a search. It's going to take me a long time to get there. And let's face it, we know we're not going to page 7 or 8 to figure out who's who's going to be my real estate agent. I was just thinking about my refrigerator repair because I sometimes use that example as well. So it creates a dynamic website, and that's what we want, a fresh, changing website. Those are the ones that pop to the top. So that's blogging. Let's start talking about some of this social media. This is a huge platform. Obviously, like I said, has the greatest demographic of people in the buying and staging stages of their lives. Business, do we all have a business page? Hopefully. Because obviously when we signed up for our personal pages back moons ago, and we read all that fine print and we went to the bottom, we hit I agree and moved on. We agreed that we were not going to post any business to our personal page. So there's repercussions. They have something called Facebook jail. It sounds kind of goony, but they can shut down your account. I've met way too many agents that have had their accounts shut down. Now, like I said, I live very locally, so I know a ton of agents in this area. I do see some of my close friends still posting. It just takes one jealous agent to call you in. And I would think it'd be absolutely paralyzing because, like I said, this is a huge platform. We're going to be putting our blogs and our listings and our local information there. So we want to make sure that we get ourselves a business page because it helps grow your business. Number 1, I can get better analytical info from a business page. I can't get that from a personal page. Number 2, you know how, like, if I wanted to be friends with you on our personal pages, I have to request. She has to agree. Well, these are privacy settings, and it keeps things tight. The internet can't get as much access to the info that we're sharing. Well, that's fine. Might be sharing beach vacations and stuff, but this is about my business. I want the internet. If somebody starts Googling something about, I want them to get this access. Well, on a business page, it's that open forum. It's just a follow me thing. There's no privacy settings. So it's the more open the forum, the higher the SEO. And then the advertising, like I was saying, it starts as little as $5. You can set a budget. And like I said, I've seen such crafty things, boost posts, there's so many things you can do. What you can do, which you may have figured out for those of you who are familiar with Facebook, you can originate in the business, because I know a lot of us may have many more personal friends than we do business. You have one chance opportunity to invite them to like your business page. Now, I know not everybody goes and runs to do it. So share from the business over to the personal. And then eventually you start, putting out good content, people start reading it, then they're driven to your business page, they start liking it, and that's how you can then build that business page. Okay, did I say everything I wanted to say there? I just don't want to lose sight. Listings, we talked about listings, we want them to be optimized. I'll talk about that in the next slide. So we're going to be posting all this content. Again, it's just about staying in front of these customers, consistent, ongoing basis, so that when we're thinking of an agent, just like I am with my carpet cleaner, when I thought this was a young girl that might have showed me a house. There was this young girl from this office that showed me a house in North Bethesda. Wish I could remember her name. Anyways, we want to drive traffic back to our page. And this is another very important component. We want to make sure that we control that customer journey. Like I met this agent back on Capitol Hill, I think it was a Coldwell office, years ago before the pandemic. And so Kathy, like, you know how you just like see something, it's like real estate was her middle name. She just had that charisma, like you could tell. Social media, not so much. So she hired a company to manage it all for her. So I start checking out Kathy's pages, and yes, there's lots of posts coming out, but I noticed that everything they're posting is coming from a third party. So I'm on Kathy's Facebook business page. I click on an article, let's say it's from Better Homes and Gardens. It now takes me to the Better Homes and Gardens website. So what am I telling my customer there? They're the experts, not me. I'm raising their SEO, not mine. And worst of all, is Kathy was spending over $300 a month for this business that was taking business away from her. So we want to make sure that we control the customer journey. It's about marketing and branding you. Better Homes is doing just fine. We don't need to be giving them our business. So in the next slide, I'll show you what an optimized listing looks like. Notice full address in the subject line. I click on this. Number one, I'm going to get that full listing sheet. And again, coming from somebody who's hot off the market, we live in a fast world, and you probably picked up on my New York accent by now. Like, we want information quickly. I want to know instantly how many bedrooms, how many baths. Like, tell me about that, like Sub-Zero and like tile in the bathroom. Now, that's great. So I get that information I crave. Number two is I'm going to be driven right back to justcallpeggy.com. That's Peggy's website. So who's my point of contact? Peggy. Peggy, on the flip side, has a CRM. She can see that I'm there. I mean, again, if I'm poking around your website and I'm looking for 5 and 6 bedroom homes here in this area, I would think you'd want to know that. We could be talking at least 1.5. So we want to make sure that we have that lead capture opportunity with the CRM and tracking ability versus this X mark. To me, I just feel like the best way for me to explain this X1 is like, it's just very flat to me. Like, you know, it's not taking me, maybe I like these pictures, which I really don't. I'm so not a farm girl or whatever this is. Cindy's telling me to call her. She's giving me the address. Now I don't know about you guys. Like, I have little routines. I like to get up early. It's my only like kind of peace time. I start flipping through my social media. I'm not calling Cindy at 6 somewhat time in the morning. I'm not even texting her at that hour. What am I doing? I'm probably going out to a Zillow or Trulia to get that information that I crave. She had me and she lost me by not being smart about how she's posting. So we want to make sure that we've got to provide that value. These customers nowadays, everybody watches one episode of HGTV and they think that they can buy and sell their own home. So we got to show them that they still need you, because they do. I was a wise guy too. I thought like, oh, I have access to the system. I'm going to do this all on my own. But I needed Molly. She helped me. God, I had one of these crazy situations. I know I keep talking about myself. Like, we lost it and then we got it. It was just meant to be. Okay, LinkedIn. I tapped on this a little bit earlier. This is your online resume. This is a business network. It has the highest SEO value for your name. Now, this is like my favorite little like dork like bar trick. You're active on LinkedIn, meaning you have a picture and you're posting to it regularly. Go to Google your name. Your LinkedIn profile comes to page 1 of a Google search. So you need to be thinking like, this is potentially my customer's first impression of me. So load it up. This is a great place to brag about yourself. You've got any awards to share, business updates. Certainly this is where those listings and those blogs should be. It is great for connections and referrals. I have a personal friend, practically walking distance from here, agent, who I'm sure you guys know, who was connected with an agent down in Atlanta. So Atlanta person was coming to do some 2-3 year project here at NIH. Atlanta had a referral that was somebody coming up to do this project. Atlanta got the referral. Cheryl got the sale. That sale was worth 1.4, I think. And now we're talking like 5 years ago in Kensington, Maryland. Now I know Cheryl will be the first to tell you this is a success story. These things don't happen every day. We dream about them, but Cheryl will also be the very first person to tell you it would not have happened if it wasn't for LinkedIn. So don't mean to be so cliche, but we want to got to be in it to win it, posting all the same content.
Can I ask a question about LinkedIn?
Yeah.
So on Facebook, like, we have a team, right? So we have even though we don't have our personal pages, which we can share stuff if we want, On LinkedIn, is it all individual, or is there like business pages on LinkedIn, or like how is it the same?
It's pretty much all individual. I mean, there are things there, I know I have other products and stuff that I've used, like, 'cause I used to be a recruiter back in the day. And so I would buy those kind of upgrades that LinkedIn has. I don't really think it's necessary for agents. There are certain businesses that are good for it, but it's all pretty much individual, but then you can like link yourself to, your business or your team.
So,
Are you all, is this all a team or?
We more are on the same team.
Oh, great. That's great.
So, because that's how we do traces. Maybe we'll have all the agents that make their own LinkedIn if they don't have one. 'Cause
Oh,
right now,
yes.
we don't have.
Because somebody might not know you, but they might know her, like, so you want, and she's got to load up, she has a whole different resume than you do.
Yeah.
So, and there's such people, buzzwords and things, and people can, my questions for her. Yeah, you definitely want to have your own LinkedIn page. And then it's like a resume. So part of your resume would be that you're part of this team. Do you guys have a name or? Yeah. So then that would like kind of link you together. And LinkedIn works like, have you ever tried to Google someone and then they'll be like other people similar to this, other people have Googled this person too. It kind of like, they have all these algorithms that put people in front of you. So Twitter, I said earlier, huge millennial following. It too has this open forum. There's no privacy settings on Twitter. So we can, the higher the SEO, the less privacy settings, the higher the SEO. Notice Tracy Fiorelli here, full address, subject line. Now we've talked about Facebook. We've talked about LinkedIn. Now we are again on another big platform. My name connected to that address. When that nosy neighbor goes to Google, this is the content that comes to the top. You're so connected with this listing. I don't want to lose. Well, sometimes when we say things about tweet, we say like, fun facts. Twitter always makes me think about this other friend I have who's an agent in DC. So back a few years when the Nats were winning the World Series, she would tweet about the games and the players and the shark and all this stuff. I'll tell you, I saw her that following like holiday season. She was telling me how many new followers she got as a result of hashtagging the Washington Nationals. Like you can get in front of so many people that you're not even connected with. So you can, the crafty things that you can do with hashtagging and drawing traffic, which later translates to business. So I know not every, and again, people like to work, I say again, I didn't say it yet, but people do like to work with people they connect with and they have common interests with. So if it's a hobby or a sports team, we all know those touchy subjects. I don't encourage, obviously, keep that separate. It's okay to show your human side and your personality, but of course, I have a personal friend, she's tanked a business because of her political views. So we want to just stay away from all that like controversial content. Again, end game goal, connect this back to your website. I click on this, I'm taken right back to Tracy Fiorelli's website, just controlling that journey, driving that traffic back to me, back to my website. Here we are on YouTube. YouTube has transformed the way we like consume video. Really, it has. I mean, just because it's so easy. Like I know I'm such a visual learner, like I'm not a reader. I like to just watch things. But YouTube is owned by Google. So how many times have I said the word Google during this presentation? So for sure, this is business. They're going to give priority to their own content first. It too has that high SEO. I mean, you can get access to absolutely, sometimes I forget like the things that you can get access to on YouTube. I have a friend who changed brake pads watching a YouTube video. So great for your listing tours, your virtual tours. And notice here's Nora, that full address in the subject line. And friends, do not kill yourselves on these videos. So whether you have paid somebody, hundreds of dollars to do this video, or you've just gone around with your, or put a montage of photos together, it doesn't matter because these are machines that are scanning and indexing. They don't know a good video from a bad video, just like they don't know a good photo from a bad photo. It just matters that you got content out there connected to your name. And two, if you read the stats, like nobody has an attention span these days. You've got like a couple of minutes. So these videos should be all of a couple of minutes long. I know I'm not even tapping into a video if I see it's like 18 minutes, even 13 minutes. The drops drastically after like 2 to 3 minutes. So keep them short and sweet. If you don't have videos, I know some of us might be new. If you don't have listings, I should say, personal interviews are always great. Like, are you guys reading? There's so much opening here in Bethesda now, like so much closed down. There's so many new restaurants opening. You interview a restaurant owner, they get business because of content that you've put out, or maybe they're going to want that video for their website. You're in front of all their followers. Same with these testimonials. They're never going anywhere. I mean, I could have Molly was like my rock star at closing. I would have said anything about Molly at that table. You have a little happy, let's say, millennial couple at closing. Now's the time to, how much you can actually say in 15 seconds with permission. You can print off little permission slips off of the internet. You tag him, you tag her. You could be in front of hundreds, probably thousands of people in clicks of a button, like instant referral. And do you know what that costs you? Absolutely nothing. It's not always working harder. It's just working smarter. And social media is such a great way, like I said, of getting in front of so many people. I die. I think I did just see one, but it probably had one of these advertised. Yeah, it had an advertisement. That's why we're actually keeping it for one of these trash things. But the postcards that come, I'm like, really? I mean, half of them, they go in, I look at them front to back on my way to the trash can with the rest of the junk mail. Whereas this, the consistency and the reach is far grander. Then once we have this video, we share it to our social media. And obviously we've got that extra Google energy behind it. Now, finally, last but certainly not least, is the website. So we talked about blogging, we talked about social media. Now we're talking about our website. Front door to your business. Do we all have a website? Gone are the days of do you have a website? Now it's more like how many websites do you have? So it's, obviously the front door to your business. Site responsive is really just the latest technology because we are logging into websites from laptops, desktops, more and more from our mobile devices. Have you ever been to a website where you got to pinch and open? That means, it's not the latest technology. So I know I've walked away from websites like that. So we want to make sure that we're site responsive and we're dynamic. Remember, that's the one that's fresh and changing. Want to make sure that you're making changes to it. You're changing the content. You've got that blog embedded in there. Your social media is connected. A static site is one that's dead. That's one that's not changing. Google, it's going to take me a long time to get there when I do a search. Linking our blog and all our social media will help keep it dynamic. And then, of course, on the flip side, having that CRM, that's the nerve center of your business, managing your clients, doing all kinds of email drips and reports and marketing info. And two, having these valuable tools on here. Like if you guys don't have the IDX search bar on your website, I can help you get this. I mean, a real estate website without the search bar is like a face without a nose. So we want to make sure that we have that front and center. Other valuable tools, like I said, people got very sensitive to commutes in the last couple of years, commute calculators, home value estimates, all that juicy stuff. This is actually my favorite slide. I told you I'm just a very visual learner. So we've got the website front and center, the holder of all information. So within the website, we want to embed our blog. And every week we're changing that blog. We're sharing it out to the multiple platforms. And then of course we want to make sure that we are controlling that customer journey. So everything that we're posting, we're dialing traffic where? Back to us, back to our website, where then we get the lead capture. This is the key to successful marketing and branding. This is what a fully integrated system looks like. I know it can be overwhelming. It's called linking and backlinking. I feel like you look at it, you can sniff the energy, and it makes it, hopefully I kind of simplified it for you and what you should be doing. Time and staying consistent. And, this sounds great in theory, but really I'm just, probably either not going to do it because of time and the content. So if anybody's looking for assistance with this, Bright is providing a solution to you. So we have a digital marketing system that will do all of this for you. So if you need help with this, we can handle it. It's all done right through your Bright account. One, we will fulfill basically each of those three legs. We'll create your real estate website. It's customized to you, and I'll show you somebody who's using it in a sec. customized to you, has all the bells and whistles I was talking about, like these valuable tools, the IDX search bar for sure. Listing carousels, you can set up listing alerts. And that's another thing I always see, like listing alerts you want set up from your website, because it's marketing and branding you. When you're setting it up through Bright, then yeah, it's doing great things for the listing, but what is it doing for you? So setting it up, we have that capability with this website. So the website, then we'll create all the social media: Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube. Now, I know many of you might have some of these platforms, and we've added Instagram and Pinterest, obviously. Some of you might have some of those. And if you already have 500 followers on your LinkedIn, we're not going to shut that down. We're going to connect to what you have, because we want to take your business from where it is today to the next level. So we'll create whatever you don't, maybe you don't have Twitter or YouTube, but we'll connect to whatever you do have, create whatever you don't have. Then the best part is the blogging. So every week, you guys can choose which day. So every week, so you might want Wednesday, you might want Sunday, and you want Thursday. We will put out a real estate related blog for you. Nobody in this room is getting the same blog at the same time. Nobody in this region is getting the same blog. We have algorithms set up to prevent that from happening. So because we know, like if everybody got the same blog this afternoon about staging a small space, it would just basically even the SEO score out there. So it's about building your SEO. So we know that building your SEO is putting out content. So we'll do the real estate related blog every week for you. Then in addition to that, you can choose 10 zip codes. So, and we'll blog about the market stats for each of those zip codes. So now, like for you guys, maybe, oh, well, you guys are in Frederick, but I know if I were an agent here, I'd want 20814, 5, 6, and 7, probably maybe 208-154. What's this, 20852? Are we in Rockville, technically? So you can choose up to 10, and then we'll blog about the market stats for each of those zip codes. Now, we're not going to dump it on one day. It'll trickle it out over the 30-day period. Again, just kind of keeping energy pumping through. Then when you have a listing, the minute that listing goes into the MLS, we automatically grab hold of it and we blast it out there in the internet. So we'll blog about it when it's new to market. We'll create the virtual tour. And any changes you make to the MLS. So if you've got an open house or a price adjustment, and then when it sells, certainly these are all additional blogs that have come out. You don't have to do anything. All you're doing is putting that listing, no phone calls made, whether you've got one or multiple listings, automatically coming out. Now, you have full access to all of this. So if you want it, like I'm going to show you this lady in New Jersey who's using it. She plays around with probably only her Facebook, but she has full access. She can add whatever additional content, but at least she knows at a bare bone, like this is all pumping out on her behalf. And then if you don't have listings, let's say, you have access to this library blog. So let's say you've got, Tuesday is your regular blog day, and on Thursday you want another post to go out. You just search the library and punch in a subject, whether it's land, maybe you're going to call about smart homes. You want to post, you have thousands and thousands of blogs in there, and you just punch in a subject, and oops, a bunch of blogs pop up. They're yours to play with. You can do what you want. Now, I don't particularly like this picture that Darlene has chosen. It's kind of like, I'm not a fan, because the house I bought in Chevy Chase, they imposed a color on it. And, so like, I think it was just bad marketing. I think that's it's sad a little bit, and then of course, when I wanted it, everybody wanted it. But I'm just not a fan of like these colors, like make it look real. Anyways, this is a banner photo. It can be virtually anything. We have tons of stock photos, but then of course you can import your own photos. This is obviously IDX search bar. I can change these fonts. This is, Darlene. This can be virtually anything. This can be a team photo up in the banner page. This can be a team photo here. I can put another, I'm sure, whatever other links to other websites that you might have. This I love. These are, so she's in Robbinsville. I think she has Trenton scrolling across here. But any one of these properties that I click on, so let's just go for this one. Now this is listing. This is a RE/MAX Tri-County listing, but I know as your average Joe, I'm looking, who do I ask the question to? So it's completely branded to you. Now this, like I said, it's not her listing, but I'm sure a team of lawyers sat around and figured out that if you put the courtesy rights to the broker here, this is all Bright's not going to do anything to get you in any kind of legal trouble. So it's nice if I don't, kind of makes it look juicy, like you've got your own listings.
And are these websites created out of WriteOS?
Yes. So we're hosting it for you. So we will, we're working with Constellation One is the software company behind it. So you don't have to worry that like, somebody over Bright is sitting being the developer. It's,
But these are like some sort of, like if we were, let's say, Bright, and we were to create your website out of Bright, would it look like this, or you guys will kind of modify it and make it look different?
we can modify it, and I'll show you even how easy it is to make changes. So like it's customized to you. Like if you wanted to put your face like right on like the cover, like this banner page can be anything. Anything can be imported. It can be video. She just happened to choose this picture. So, all right, let's check out this blog page. So this says, is today Wednesday? Which home improvement projects add value to your home? So these are the types of things that come out. So she has Wednesday. So let me just tap into this. But I'm always kind of interested, of course, kitchen, new windows, project. Interesting. They're like real estate related content. I am actually always, she had something about doors that I was interested in. I'm ordering a front door. But the beauty is, it looks like Darlene's written it and published it every week it comes out on her behalf. Now, if I, for some reason, did not like this, I wanted to edit it, customize it. Like if I knew somebody who, did you ever hear of Strachan, and I can just let it run on its own. I'll also say about these blogs. Certainly, you never have to worry that anything's like nothing funky is going to come out here. I mean, the worst thing I ever saw in all my years is like something about bed bugs, which, listen, it's a real thing. It kind of skeeved me out, but you have the option of approving them and you can pick them down. So here's like, when's the 28th? I didn't know. But the 28th, was that just your, oh yeah, no, today's June 1st. Oh my God, I'm dying. Okay, so here's on the 28th, property sold 28th, the 26th, the video toured within the same day. So it came new to market, and the same day the video tour came out. So you can see how, here's another video tour. If I keep going, I'm going to see now, price adjustments, open houses. Now, Darlene's operating like a team as well. So this works with the team, and you can feature your team. We can add a page easily. Now, the big trick there is that Darlene's the team leader, because you don't want to miss those auto blog opportunities. So if everybody's kind of working independently, you would each want to kind of subscribe to this. But some of these listings might be Mark's or Megan's. They look like their family. They've just kind of enhanced their team. And then, like I said, you could add a tab here, or I've seen team pictures here. So let's check out her Facebook page. We created this for her. You'll notice that there'll be branding involved. Everything's going to look similar. Like I said, Darlene does post additional content, but so here's her blog that already is out here this morning. Now this is here. It's on that blog page on her website, but it's also getting shared out to the platforms. Now this is something she posted. Something she posted, but I can tell what's ours because anything I click on, see, hers are very flat. They don't take me anywhere. Now, if I click on this, number one, I get the full listing. Oh, this is a sold one. So I get the full listing sheet. Great. Like I said, check that box. Now, look where I am though. So now I was on her Facebook business page. Now I'm dialed right back to her website. So then who's my point of contact? So let's pretend I just won the lottery and we're going to buy that Rehoboth Beach house. All right, let's go for the gold. Who cares? So again, Darlene's my point of contact. So anything I punch into that IDX search bar or you're on your website, you're the point of contact for any and all active listings. It could be in Jersey, Delaware, PA, DC, Maryland, Virginia. I know she's probably not licensed in Delaware, but she could have a whole other referral business going on the side. So any and all active listings. Now I'm just going to jump back. Wait, let's close. I have OCD. I have to close all these things. LinkedIn. Remember I said LinkedIn has the highest SEO value for your name, but you need to be active on it. So we're posting to it. There's that. If I click on this, I'm going to see all her listings and previous blogs. We're keeping it active for her. I never really see her posting to it. Twitter. I met her at Triple Play. Is it Triple Play early in December this year? She told me she has never once even looked at her Twitter account, but she knows it hits a huge millennial following. So she wants to have a presence here. So that's her Twitter account. I don't want to log into her stuff. And then finally her YouTube channel. So this These are all the videos we've done for her just in like the last year. We'll go down to my favorites, getting further.
Sorry, may I ask, do you know when she started?
When she started her business
No, when she started like doing, or you guys taking over?
with us, I don't know. I guess I could probably go. Oops, Jennifer Dope. Let me see. I would think I could go back. I mean, that was 2 years ago.
Do we know what has been the amount of increase of viewers, platforms, or?
Well, I can always see, yeah, I can see like how many views and clicks and stuff. And then we have it all connected to the website. And then the website provides like that kind of tracking ability.
So in the sense that, are we able to kind of say, okay, when we started with her 2 years ago, a year ago, she had 50 followers now, she's not at 100,
Yeah.
or anything like that, just so that, in my mindset, I'm just trying to make sense.
Sure, the return on investment, that's the number one question. I can say 150%. If you're not doing this on your own, it can only bring you good. Like, she's been a customer for at least 2 years, and I don't know if that it just kind of taps out after it stops going back, because I don't know how long I've been kind of like, I flip around and use different people, but she's definitely happy. She's not going anywhere. I mean, she's month to month on this thing, so she can get out at any point. So she's obviously happy.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. What's
Well,
the price?
Yeah, it's not that bad. I'll get to that in a sec, but I don't know if let me just play. So what it is, I don't know if I have volume on here. What it is the montage of photos from the MLS. I can hear it very faintly. So like I said, it doesn't really matter. We just want to get content out there. And notice that everything that we're posting is going to have that full address. Look at this property. I know, but it's like in nowhere's land, so it's cheap compared to what we see. Everything's geared. We take care of all of this, all the necessary information about the listing, everything, geared market brand Darlene. Plus, we take care of the licensing for that music. So you don't need to be thinking about that because you're not allowed to set music to a video you don't have rights to. So let me show you my website. So it's also, if you have a domain name, we can point you whatever direction. So I don't know what I set my colors to, because I'll show you just quickly how I flip around. But that same Rehoboth Beach house, that $12 million, is it a house or is it just the land, for goodness sakes? Now, who pops up as the point of contact? Good old me. I'm not even an agent. I'm just smoke and mirrors, but this could be your name and your number, your picture here. Now, of course, this is kind of fun because I'm usually not so local. Like, here's what's new to market in the DC area, friends. I go into like Gainesville and they're like, what? Like, are you kidding? So this like $24 million house in McLean, I'm the point of contact. Now, obviously, I'm not rolling around in crowds that can afford $24 million homes. But so I can set parameters here. I can, say maybe I don't want a single house over 2 million scrolling, and I have Potomac, Washington. Same with the open houses. Like you can see, I tightened it up a little bit here. Brookville, I know who's selling this house. There it is, Chevy Chase. I can do home value estimates, home mortgage calculators. Here's the CRM. I just want to show you quickly. So you'll have the same thing. And this is kind of like the nerve center of your business, where you can set all kinds of tasks and appointments. I can do calendar information. I can print flyers, and everything is very, don't be fooled. I'm fun at a party. I'm not that techie brain. If I can do this, you can do it. We have all these folders and each of them are filled with all these templates. You can just start selecting a template. Next step, select the listing. Now the pictures pop up from the MLS. I pick the pictures I like. I can take it, share it to my social media. I can do these email drip campaigns, neighborhood reports, school reports. Here's another thing that I never thought I'd be able to do. If you told me years ago I would be able to make changes to a website without calling a developer and waiting 6 months, paying thousands of dollars, I would think you can add pages. I have a friend, she's a stager. If I wanted to add a stager or loan officer to that, I just add, again, pick the template, We have images you can use, or you can import your own. And I'll just flip through this. This is where I think he was asking about like the design, like in clicks of a button, you can just change the design. Oh, I have Sotheby's as but let's just pretend I'm, relocating. I can switch this up. As long as you're in the bright footprint, this transfers wherever you go. So you don't have to worry about shutting down one thing, opening another. Here's images. This is this banner photo. So we've got all kinds of like stock photos, but if you just sold $1 million property and you want to feature it on your website, just save it to your desktop. So here was my little rental. We had this beautiful little like back room, and I imported it in there. If I wanted to feature this summer, this was right behind Wildwood Shopping Center. I was like a stone's throw from Balducci's. I loved this house, but it wasn't going to work long term. Okay, so let's jump back to this presentation because I'm going to read you what I call the money statement. On this product, you're going to be able to go into your next listing appointment and say, I'm going to feature your property on my website. I'm going to blog about it on my real estate blog, promote it to my Facebook business page, post it to my LinkedIn activity feed, tweet about it on Twitter. Oh yeah, and I'm going to create a video. I'm going to post it to my YouTube channel, and then I'm going to take it and share it to all my social media. All of this gets done for you. All you're doing is putting that listing into the MLS. We grab hold of it from there. We take care of all this. We know you guys are plenty busy dealing with everything else there is to be done in a real estate transaction. So we'll take it. If you want to add additional content, like you've got this great guy who's doing all these videos and stuff, if he prints up something great about that neighborhood that backs up Ashley, backs up to Bethesda Country Club, and he's got like, that's another great little hub. You've got addition, you can always add more stuff, but at least you know it's pumping along without you having to do anything. So here's now we're going to talk about some prices, but I have some discounts for you. It's offered 2 ways. I'm going to hand these forms out because this is just a promo, and here is like you would just, one for you, one for her, and I'll take. So we're literally going to doctor up these forms. So if you have a pen.
Into the social sphere bundle without having this website from like, can we use our own website and still connect?
Well, see, they used to offer it like that because it's actually like 2 products we're marrying. So Sphere Pro is the website by itself, and then there's the social side, which is the blogging and the social media, and then we marry it to create this bundle. We used to offer it social, website, and then bundle, but it just doesn't work as nicely together because we can't embed that blog into your current website. It's like this big development issue for some reason. I don't know. It sounds easy, but I guess
we
it's
would
a
have to
development.
essentially cancel our website in order to do this service. It just doesn't make sense to do that.
Well, you can always put a link. Like I said, like you can put a link to your current web. You wouldn't really need your other. Do you love it? Do you love your other website? You're paying a lot of money?
I don't know, do we love that? I'm pretty sure we just signed a contract to spend a whole bunch of money to have a whole new website developed, actually. Alex and I have confirmed this somewhere.
Yeah.
But we do, I love the website that we currently have. It has all the same features. It just doesn't have the social media push.
Yeah.
You know, it has the IDX, it has the search, it has the other things.
See, the only thing, I mean, I could probably figure out a way to still get you just the social piece. The only thing is, then it's that blog is out on a platform by itself. It's out on a Bright platform. It's not on your website because they can't embed it into the website for whatever developmental reason. I know it sounds easy. This is what I'm told. Like I said.
We can talk more about it later.
Yeah. Well, I'll just run through this. Yeah. And I don't know are you all a team? All of you?
3 for our team, yes. So
Okay.
we share our website.
1, 2, 3, 4, and you're on your own.
Yeah, it's not different.
Different team.
Alex.
Yeah. So Sphere Pro is just the website by itself, because I know some of you out there might be really good about blogging and your own social media. You just need that state-of-the-art website. Then you get the IDX feed is built in there. The CRM can do those email drips, print those flyers, and it's mobile friendly, responding to whatever device. Plus you get your own mobile app, which is another great little feature. So you could be literally waiting to show a home and be communicating with somebody who's not on your website, because we have those like pop-up like chat things. So that setup fee is typically $199. So on your little forms there, you can cross that out and put $149, and the monthly fee coming down from nearly $80 down to $71.95. So that's kind of tier one. Now, the more popular of the two is now the bundle. This is the whole kit and caboodle. Now we add in not only everything I just explained in the previous slide, but now we're adding the social media. Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube. We've added Instagram and Pinterest, but I do not want to mislead you. They don't play nicely, and they don't have these APIs that allow us to auto post. We give you the content and you just got to okay it. So I don't want to like mislead in any way, but we do provide it and we create it if you don't have it. So the social media, then the juice, the blogging. So that weekly blog comes out whatever day you want. Everybody gets something individual. And then the blogs about the market stats, up to 10 zip codes you can choose. And then the blogs about each and every one of your listings, every step of the way, new to market, virtual tour, price adjustment, open house, when it sells. Then access obviously to that huge library of blogs. If you want additional content, you want to post additional stuff and you don't want to be writing from scratch, you can pull from the library. So that is typically almost $400. We can cross that out and put $199. I'm wondering why that's coming up as a different color. $199, and the monthly fee that's currently sitting at $160, but because they've added extra technology, that's going up. But you're going to lock in at this $127.90 for as long as you have it. So some terms, if you were to sign up, today's one, you would probably be hearing from us by week's end. Yes, you definitely would be hearing from us by week's end. So what we do is we'll email you a draft because they know that you work for the agency. They have your picture on file. We have all your info. We know that you're in this general area where you're working. So we'll set the carousels and whatnot. So now we'll send you an email with the draft. Then on that email is a link where you can sign up for your onboarding call. So you have a one-on-one, like sit down, like Zoom with somebody. We further customize the website. Like maybe you have a new headshot or you want to like customize to your team. Then we figure out what social media you have, what you don't have, what day you want your blogs to come out, your zip codes, all that stuff. So now you have 30 days to see it in action. So if on day 23, you decide I want to retire and move, you just send us an email. We shut down the website. We don't do the blogging. You do walk away with all that social media that we created because it's you own that. It's connected to your name. Now, for those of us beyond the 30 days, there is the 12-month contract. So this time next year, now you come out of contract, which in reality, we really need to give it more than 30 days to see it, like get some return on your investment. So the year comes and goes pretty fast. This time next year, you come out of contract. Now it just goes month to month. Like Darlene here is just month to month, does not auto renew. But the good thing is it locks in at that reduced rate for as long as you have it. So 5 years from now, it's $127.90. And you know, technology. So if it, you know, they add TikTok or they add whatever new platform comes along the way, or if they start blogging more, whatever comes along the way, you get all those perks without paying a penny more. So it's like rent control, I say. So that's my spiel. What are some popular questions? Usually the ROI, obviously. I can tell you, people are happy. We have a 94% renewal rate, so we know our agents are happy with it. So even when they're coming out of contract, they're staying on board. So that I know is a very good, like, kind of marker. And if you have a domain name, we can point in whatever direction. We can generate a domain, help you with the domain name.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Is it 11:30 or 11? I'm sorry, I have to go.
Oh.
I need a laptop. My question is, can you tap into another CRM? So if we have our own website, we have our own CRM, it's actually all the same system.
Yeah, just like ours. So we can import whatever, you know, from wherever. Like we do it all the time. We have tons of people that import from other CRMs.
Okay. I think I'm gonna find a way to do it, because we need something for social media. And I'm so sorry to have to run the pinky.
I hear you. No. Where are you guys going? Were you having a clothing or
No, I have a
a showing?
meeting that started 10 minutes ago that
Oh.
I'm in charge of. So
Oh, yeah. Well, that's That's fine. So are you part of their team? Oh, great. So, I don't know, now technically are you guys a team?
No, he's on a different, he's with Alex.
Well,
We're with Brandy.
together with the Alex group, so.
Uh-huh. Yeah, give me yours too. I'll follow up too. Because, so yeah, the discounts are usually just good for while I'm here, but I understand that. You don't have to, do you want me to take this? I'm kind of done talking. Are we off?
All right.
Bye, everybody.